So tonight I will be discussing the crisis management with Starbucks in Argentina. It all started on July 16th, 2012, the morning of. Starbucks actually tweeted out to their followers that they would be using some local cups and sleeves due to a temporary supply shortage. Pretty innocent, right? Well, it turns out that the Argentines weren't that crazy about this tweet. They actually took offense to Starbucks feeling the need to apologize for using local products. Um, you know, uh, the response was a sense of disappointment, offended. People, Argentines were actually offended and insulted. And it turned out that because of this, a lot of sarcastic tweets came out of it, making it seem that Starbucks was eventually going to apologize for hiring local staff that spoke Spanish. So there was the timing of this tweet probably wasn't the best considering that Starbucks had actually recently opened some locations in Latin America and Argentina being one of them. So they didn't really have that many locations in Argentina and their goal was to expand in certain locations. On the other hand, Argentina had actually started applying strict restrictions to imports to actually boost local production. So as you can see, two very different end of the spectrum kind of situations here. Even though Starbucks didn't, it wasn't intentional to not, boost or encourage the purchase of local products. They unintentionally insulted Argentina when they're trying to boost the production of local products. So, without social media, this situation would not have been known to many. This became so popular, it was retweeted. People started using a hashtag pedimos disculpas, basically, we apologize. And it became nationwide news. People everywhere in Argentina knew about it. And in a way, they were using this hashtag to support their local products and vendors. So you can see people were sharing pictures of the cups that they had gotten at the Starbucks at the locations that weren't giving out the typical Starbucks cups. So they were actually given the local products here. When it came to the crisis management of this situation, Starbucks really, nailed it. They were transparent, they were honest, they were timely with their updates. And when it comes to crisis management, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to communicate with your followers, and fans on social media, and you want to be honest and transparent and very timely because people don't want to be not heard. They want to be able to have a response and be heard. Starbucks, their response, we apologize for the post this morning. We understand your comments and clarified that the intention was to tell you that we are using different than the usual supplies temporarily in some stores. So in a way, they did acknowledge, that the post that they had recently tweeted out wasn't the best, and it really wasn't trying to insult the Argentines or their local. The one thing I would probably have changed about this or maybe added is to make me maybe acknowledge that local products were, or that Starbucks was happy to use local products. I don't see any mention of that. Other than that, I think, them apologizing and being transparent is perfect and timely because this was released later that day. So how are they doing now? Back in 2012, they had 50 stores, and now in 2014, they have 72. So in a way, maybe it did affect it that day. Maybe sales weren't that great, but in the long run, they're doing well, and that's because of how they handled the whole situation.